Okay, thanks for joining us. We're going to be running through the Smart Aquaculture workshop for the Red Hat Summit ahead of time. It all starts um, at a showroom like this. Let me hide some things in Zoom. Let's see, video panel. All right, and then we can get started here. So Dwayne is on with us. He's going to be running through this lab together. And we're the Smart Aquaculture team, and we're bringing this to the Red Hat Summit event. We have uh, a landing page, the Smart Aquaculture Edge to Cloud development page. Although, Dwayne, I think we need to work on a new title
Yes.
because they're suggesting that we make it more interesting to the audience. So I'm trying
Okay.
to come up with a new title and a new
Okay.
description.
I'll work on that. We'll get a new title. That sounds cool.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. The showroom lists the modules that we're going to do. So there's a big introduction to the use case, and I'd also love your thoughts here. Um, we can we can adjust this.
Hmm.
The LB to one. Um, this is where the content is. And we can modify this leading up to the Red Hat Summit, but
Okay.
we
Mhm.
are running out of time for changes. So, well, we might have a couple weeks to still work on this, but let me share a little link about this in the chat. All right. So let's get started. I'm just gonna, well, what's cool about the smart aquaculture use case, besides being able to work with the smart aquaculture team and improve smart fisheries and fishing and keeping track of this data in an open source way um, in Louisiana and across the United States is is that we're using these modern development tools in the cloud. It's cloud native, it's edge native, and so we use VS Code directly in the browser, which looks like this, and we're using these cloud native microservices that scale RabbitMQ, Keycloak, Apache Solr Search Engine, Apache Zookeeper, Cluster Manager, PostgreSQL relational database. And so we have high performance relational databases. We have fine grained trust authorization to data. We are using FiWare open source IoT services and smart data models to give us a head start on building a smart aquaculture platform. We manage cloud secrets securely, and and we deploy a complete data-driven website in the cloud from your browser. So it's a pretty powerful platform that we're demoing here. And we're going to get started building this smart aquaculture platform in the cloud using sovereign generative AI that powers this smart aquaculture platform. And it generates code for us as we describe what we want, like a smart data model for fish populations. It automatically generates the code for us for that. So we're going to be going through that and developing these models with persistent fields. So go ahead and go on to your OpenShift AI workbench, and we'll get you connected here. So, um, so there's a link to access the OpenShift console, and you can jump in here to get started. Are you able to access the link to the console with the username and password provided? Let's get to that point.
Oh, I'm on the showroom.
Okay. Are you on the page, Your OpenShift AI Workbench? You might need to scroll all the way down and click next until you get to the module to access your OpenShift AI Workbench. So from here, you click on Introduction to the Compute and Smart Aquaculture Use Case, and then you go to the very bottom and you click Your OpenShift AI Workbench.
Okay, I guess I'm at the lab module index, and um I can see my terminal. Oh, I see.
Okay.
I see now. Okay, I'm following. I see introduction to compute
Yeah.
and smart agricultural use case. Okay, so
Yeah.
now keep going, scrolling
Click
down.
that. Scroll to the bottom. Go to Your OpenShift AI Workbench.
Okay, minor workbench.
And there's a section,
Oh,
Access your OpenShift console with a link. You can
uh,
click on.
so you want me to click on your open AI workbench?
Click on Log into the OpenShift console.
Okay. Um, Logging into the OpenShift console with username 3ID. Okay, I'm putting that in now.
Yeah.
User 3, and then okay. Now I'm putting in the password.
Copy that password.
Okay. Um. Okay, maybe I didn't do something right. It said login. Oh. Let me try it again. Okay. Okay, there I go. All right, so I'm doing it again. User 3.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm doing a password again. Okay, so I'm inside now.
Nice. If it
Yes.
gives you the option to save your password, you might save it for future steps.
Okay. I think I just clicked that one. Oh man, I just yeah.
It's okay.
Next
You
time.
can
Okay.
you can always copy and paste it. You can Control C, Control V,
Mm-hmm.
paste it later on. So go ahead and skip the tour if it asks you for a tour.
Yes, hit skip tour.
All right. Next, there's a button at the top. It's a waffle button with 9 squares. And you can
Mm-hmm.
click on that waffle button and click Red Hat OpenShift AI.
Hold it. Let me see the waffle button. Oh, you mean at the top?
Yeah, at the top,
Okay.
top right.
Yeah, Red Hat OpenShift AI. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Log in with OpenShift.
yeah. You want to log in again, log in with OpenShift, user 1,
User
copy and
one.
paste your password. Or
Oh,
sorry, but for you it's user 3. For me
okay.
it's user 1. Then you should see a new page.
Yes, I see the new page.
All right, great. Now click on data science projects on the left,
Okay, I got data science projects. Yes.
and then there should be a workbench that you
Workbench.
can click on.
I'm clicking on that right now.
Yeah. And then there's a tab for workbenches.
Yes.
Yeah, and it says VS Code.
Yes.
So you can click where it says VS Code,
Okay.
and then you're going to have to enter your username and password again.
Okay, it's in there. It's in there. So
Okay.
it says authorized access service VS Code is requesting.
Yeah. Go
And
ahead and
hit,
allow selected permissions.
okay. And say I trust authors.
Yes, I trust the authors.
Okay. I
And
check.
now you should finally be in your workbench.
Okay. So I'm there in my workbench.
Nice. Now at the bottom right, does it say, do you want to install the recommended extensions?
Yes.
Click
Install.
install.
Okay.
That's going to install Java support for running Java and debugging Java.
Okay.
So it'll open 3 tabs and they'll just do their extension installation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to check on. So we've accomplished all the steps in the showroom for that page. It explained what I just explained. And then if I go to the showroom and go building a smart aquaculture cloud platform for thin air, then um, the really the first step is to go to a Jupyter notebook, and it's called 00-create-scaffolding-code.ipynb.
Okay. So you say I'm back. I'm in Red Hat OpenShift, right?
You're in your VS Code. So I was looking at the showroom, but I'm
Okay.
just going to show you what's next, which is
Okay. 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 I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna watch you.
yeah. So in your VS Code workbench, you click on Files, File Explorer on the left.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle, there's this 00 create scaffolding code
Okay.
dot ipynb. You
All
click
right.
on it.
Let me do that. Okay. Create scaffolding code 00.
Yeah. And then
All
you
right.
can scroll down to a section called Switch to the Jupyter kernel bash.
Switch to the gym. Okay, I'm there.
So it explains in the top right corner, there's a select kernel box.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
And then you select Jupyter kernel. And then you select bash.
Okay, and I select bash. Okay, that's done.
So that's going to run terminal commands right here.
Okay.
So the next step is to click this little execute cell button on the left where it says ls-l vars.yaml. You can click that and it'll run and it'll show you all the variables we're using in the Smart Aquaculture platform that have been configured out of the box.
Okay, let me do that. So I went down there to create scaffolding. Oh, and now I see the little arrow. It hit execute cell, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going. Well, I'm in the cloud.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Um, it's going to print out a bunch of environment variables. And if you go down a little bit, there's a blue scrollable element that you can click on, and then you can scroll through the many variables it takes to run the Smart Aquaculture platform. But
Okay.
they're already pre-configured for you.
Okay.
Okay, so the rest of this is a whole bunch of create files to create the
Mm-hmm.
whole project. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you look in the Smart Aquaculture directory, there's only one file. On the left, you click on Smart Aquaculture and click on this vars.yaml. The vars.yaml is all of the environment variables, but they're kind of dynamic because they do a bunch of lookups.
Mm-hmm.
They can look up environment variables. They can look up secrets within OpenShift. Um, and so this is where the variables are defined, but they're evaluated using the command we ran above. This /vars.py evaluates all the variables and shows us what they are at runtime. Okay, so we're at this step. I want you to go to the top of the Jupyter Notebook and click Run All. Click Run All, and it's going to rerun the first one, and then it's going to go and create all of the project files. Let me know when you get the Run All running. There's a Run All button at the top. When you click Run All, it's going to do each of these step by step. It's going to create a VS Code launch configuration, which looks like this. So it automatically created this for us to launch Smart Aquaculture and rebuild the Smart Aquaculture API. It created a git ignore file related to Git, a pom.xml for Java dependencies. It's filling up this Smart Aquaculture directory. Were you able to get this to run all, Dwayne? Okay, I can't hear you, so hopefully it's running through all of these.
Hello, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's looking like it's running. It's still the little bar still going through, and it has the restart up there where run all
Yeah.
work. So I
Okay.
yeah, it looks like it's still going.
Okay.
And
It's going to run for a couple minutes,
okay.
but it's building the whole Smart Aquaculture platform here
Mm-hmm.
in this Smart Aquaculture directory, also in the Smart Aquaculture static. It's
Mm-hmm.
creating a bunch of JavaScript and web page styles and default logos and things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to read about in here about each file. So we've generated a bunch of JavaScript, default JavaScript. We've generated a bunch of images and style sheets for the site. We've also declared the Java dependencies for the Smart Aquaculture site and the versions of the packages that we're going to use. We've generated some of the source code, config keys for adding configuration environment variables, a base model class for storing things in the database, a site request object for keeping track of each individual request and what the user needs to see in the pages that they load, and a base result class for querying stuff in the search engine. Package info is for code generation with the Java Vertex libraries. It created a container file, which we can use to build into a container image to run our Smart Aquaculture platform in the cloud or at the edge. This is what it takes to build that container image. Just build it for us. And I think for me, this is completed. It made it to the end, to the very end. It generated all the files.
Okay, I'm checking my files now. and so I should have like I see processes 1 through 8, 0 through 8. That means I generated those processes.
Well, go to the 00 create scaffolding code playbook. Scroll to the
Okay.
very bottom and see if it ran the very last homepage.htm Jinja HTML template. It should have run a playbook for that last step. Or it might be close.
Yeah, it's looking like it stopped. So
Okay.
let me look at yours. Let me look at yours and see.
Yeah, it looks like this.
So it should be a play
Homepage.
create. Okay. Let me, oh yeah, I think I did it. I think I
Okay.
see the play create and a task Apache Solar for Java class.
Yeah, all the way to the end.
Yeah, and I just kicked out of my screen somehow. I think I
Oh,
did play and run. But yeah, I can see everything. I'm going all the way down play create.
okay.
So I think I think it definitely happened. I see
Okay.
your localhost. Let me go down to the bottom. Yeah, I got plenty of play create files.
Okay.
Project
Then
leaflet, yes, map, yes.
then you can go on to the 01
Okay.
Jupyter Notebook, run Computate AI Code Watcher. Once again, okay, you're going to switch to the bash kernel. You can do it by clicking the first cell. If you click run, it's going to bring up bash at the top.
Here, let me watch you.
So I clicked run down here, and then I click bash up here, and then it runs that command.
Okay, there's multiple ways to do this.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're not gonna hit select kernel this time.
right. There's a shortcut I'm teaching you.
Okay, okay. Let me go in. Okay. Okay, so run 01, and then I'm gonna hit run all, or because I didn't have
Mm,
that little arrow that you had.
you got to hover right
All right,
here.
all right, let me get my hover on. Uh, yeah, I call myself here hovering, but I don't see that little
Oh, there's no triangle next to. Well, maybe you're down. Well, yeah. Usually there is.
But I see run all and I see select kernel.
Okay. Well,
You want to see my screen or?
yeah. Maybe let's see the screen.
Okay, let me share.
Want to make sure this works for everybody.
That's all right, yeah, that bag too, so. Yeah, I got the grams. Yeah, it's called. That's why I didn't take them out, cause I figured you wanted them in the bag.
Okay, so then I need to just change the setting in Chrome real quick. Let me find that.
Oh,
I'm on my Mac, so let me see. Open settings. Oh, there I see it. Run. Okay, there it goes. Okay.
One bag on $4.
You see my screen now?
Coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So 01. Yeah. Scroll down a little bit on the right side.
Yeah.
So on the left side, where it's dollar site SRC,
Dollar
um,
site.
move a little to the right with your mouse. Yeah, into that section. Go down. There it is. There's
There it is.
the run.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. I'm just practicing. Now I'm gonna hit run.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
that's a little tricky because it's kind of hiding.
it's hiding on my computer. Yes, and then now hit bash.
Yeah, bash.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 And there it
All
goes.
right, that works.
Yeah, that was hiding.
I'll have to explain that better. So right now it's going to generate some additional code that we need. It's indexing all the information about each of the Java files into a search engine, and then having that information in the search engine about all the code it's this sovereign AI concept of generate me the rest of the code that I need from here. So that's what it's doing, and now it's done. Okay, did you want me to switch back to showing my screen?
Yes. Yes. Let me. Okay. Stop share.
All right.
I stopped share. Right. Okay.
Yeah, stop sharing. I'll
Yes.
share mine. Okay, so that's good. All right, this next part is a little trickier. What you need to do is right click on this cell and click, let's see, wait. I think we can do, if you right click on the cell and click copy,
Okay. Let me do that.
and then go to the top, and there's this menu button. It looks like 3 lines or a hamburger. You open it up and you go to terminal, new terminal, and click new terminal.
Okay. So and you were at site watch now, right? And I right clicked.
Yeah, I right click on this cell and I click copy. And then in the terminal, I click paste, and it pastes a command $site_src/bin/watch now.sh. And I press
Okay.
enter.
Okay. So my controls are just different. You're on a
Red Hat Enterprise Linux.
Okay, yeah, I'm on a Mac, so I think that's the thing. So
Yeah.
my controls are just different. So I can find my controls. So it says cut cell, copy cell, paste cell, insert cell, change the mark.
Yeah.
So and you which one did you do?
You can do copy cell
Okay, I did copy cell.
and then
Was I
open
supposed to
it.
highlight the whole thing?
It's fine. Copy the whole cell.
All right, I'm copy cell. Okay.
And then you need a new terminal. In the
Okay.
top, you can go to the menu that looks like 3 lines, and there's a terminal section, and you click new terminal.
Okay, I got new terminal.
And then in the terminal, you right click and you say paste. Do the paste.
Okay, I think I got it.
And then you press enter.
Oh, let me paste. Okay, enter.
And it should say generate this directory ready watch.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Generate op app root smart aquaculture. Watch now. Yeah, computation is going. So yeah, I'm hanging with you. This is good.
Okay, now we're ready for some more code generation. Then you can click 0 to notebook, 0 to generate AI template files.
Okay, I'm on 02 generate AI template files. Okay.
And we're going to run these one at a time.
And so I go and hold it. I'm on 02 generate AI template. I got problems 926. Is that good or bad?
Oh, you got a problem? 926.
Do you need to see it or?
Try closing it and opening it again.
Okay.
Let's hope it's okay.
It says bash 51 site watch now sh.
Okay, try.
I'm
Do you have
gonna
a
just delete it and delete it and try again.
well, don't delete anything. Do you have a refresh button in your browser? Can you click refresh in your browser?
All right, let me do that. Oh, something with the cache. It's probably the cache, right? Yeah. Let me see.
Maybe.
Let me see. Refresh. Ooh, I have been on this Mac in so long. Reload this page. You saying that is refresh or no?
Yeah, reload the page.
Man. Okay, I'm reloading the page. It still came back.
Maybe you'll need to share for this one. I
Okay,
haven't seen this before.
All right, let me where
I got the eggs in there now.
let me see here.
Gee, no dog's been at that.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just find the right browser. That's not the right one. Okay, you can still hear me, but I cannot see you. You know,
Oh,
when I did the refresh, but I don't know what's going on. Just finding the right browser again.
okay. You can hear me?
I can hear. Oh, I can see my screen. Let me see.
I don't see your screen yet.
I can see me talking to you, but I'm not sure. But my I guess when I hit refresh, everything just kicked me out, or I don't see nothing.
Oh, man.
Um,
Let's see.
should I hate have to reconnect? But because you can hear me. I mean, you're not gone.
Yeah, not gone.
So I'm like, but that refresh wasn't a good thing.
Oh, man.
'Cause
Bad guess.
I can hear you, but I cannot. My controls, or I can't even see my all the stuff we logged into without logging in again. You know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, let's see. I'll
That's interesting.
go back to sharing my screen. I
Okay.
can see Zoom.
It looks like I need to just start all over again because everything's gone when I hit refresh. You know.
Well, I can share a link to get you back probably. So let me do this. Workbench user 3. So this is the link to get back to the workbench chat.
Okay, I'm a
And if I go here,
where did you go? This is just strange. Because when I click on the Google,
I'll let you put your eggs in there.
let me see. I'm gonna just have to stop and rejoin real quick, because I can't see you. So let me Ooh, it's strange. Because I'm in. I can, and you can't see me now.
I can see your face in the Meet, in the Zoom.
Yeah, but my whole browser's gone. It's like, where did my browsers go?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So let me
If you go to the chat in Zoom and click on the last link, it might get you back.
yeah, I mean it just everything is gone. All those tabs are gone. So it's like, hmm,
Oh no.
very interesting. What did
Did
I
it
do?
crash? Your Chrome crashed?
I think my Chrome may have hold, I see a bunch of stuff here. Oh, there they are. Okay, okay. I can see I can see everything. And there go you. Oh, I can see you now. Yes. So I'm back. It's just
Okay.
a new configuration. Everything went over here to the side, but I can't. Nothing is gone. Nothing is gone. I can see everything now. It's just
Okay.
I can bring it back up, so I can see my generate two code template now, and we're back to the my problem. You know. Oh, do you want to see
Okay.
my problem?
Yeah, maybe share the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go here and let me.
We're testing this out on the Mac for the first time.
Oh, okay. Because my other thing is my Linux computer. Ugh, I don't even want to talk about that right now. It's just uh, I'll talk about it later. Let me see here. Oh, I see now. I'm gonna put you up right there. Okay, so there you go. Okay. All right, there you go. All right, now I got control. Share screen, window, Chrome tab. All right, what am I doing? Oh, there I go. All right, here we go. All right, so you see me?
Yes.
Okay. And you see my problem?
Scroll down on the right a little bit. Scroll down. Scroll down. Yeah, this is what you should see. This
Oh,
is
so I'm
good.
good. I'm good. Okay.
Yeah. You just need to run that cell.
Run all.
Well, no, don't run all. This one you need to do slowly, carefully. So
Okay.
scroll down a little bit. Um, yeah, run that cell right there.
Right here.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna copy cell.
No, just on the left, there's a triangle that you can run.
Oh, right here. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and run that.
And
Click
back.
bash. You have to do this on each notebook.
Okay. And this is running my Ansible playbook.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, that
so
one's done.
this is going to generate a file and scroll down a little bit. Run this next one that's touch. For
Okay.
some reason, it doesn't recognize that file was created. So
Didn't I run it? Oh, it did run. Okay.
yeah, it ran. So it says site user touched at the bottom. So it recognized that something was created. Now it's trying to generate some code, but it fails a few times because this is a very new project and you're adding new models. And the site user one is an important one that it needs to it's now it says site user touched. So it's figuring out, oh yeah, I know what I need to do with this. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, so then you can run the next commands. So create site page.java, go ahead and run that one.
Don't worry about it.
You see application running on port 915 is available. I guess.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, it just
Sorry,
went
I accidentally, I was in your workbench and I ran the command. That was not good. I'm gonna get out of there because I'm just being a problem. I'm gonna get back to my workbench and run the same things now.
okay. So I just. Oh, you want me to stop sharing or?
Yeah, you can stop sharing if you want. We're gonna run through each of these one at a time.
Okay.
It's generating the important parts of the site right now that require some artificial intelligence
Mm-hmm.
to create. So we generate the site user.java. And it's creating all of this code here for site user.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to create one for site page. Site page. And then continue on to site routes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the worker vertical, we're going to generate the main vertical. And we're going to run this generate.sh command to generate anything that's missing now. There might be a few errors as it's figuring out what everything relates to in the code. It has to basically take 3 passes through the code to figure out, oh, this code is related to that code, and that code is related to this code. And in the end, it's able to accurately generate all the code so that it compiles without errors.
Awesome.
Because these kind of systems are complicated to make. And what we're trying to do is build a smart aquaculture platform in an hour, which is, well, it hasn't been done before, but we're going to do it.
Hey, yes, yes.
It also took a while for the watcher code at the bottom to catch up on the code generation, but it's also regenerating the code there at the same time. I was kind of impatient. This VS Code workbench, it has the resources to do this, but it only has 2 CPUs. So it's kind of limited on how fast it can run. So, but it looks to me like this is in good shape. I'm going to do this last step of this notebook to create the page layout.html file, which is how our site will look. Have you been able to make it through these steps, Dwayne?
No, well, I'm here watching you, and I'm gonna this is my homework.
Okay, so you're going to continue working on this tonight
Yes.
or
Yes.
today? Okay,
Yes.
that sounds good. And we'll have the live stream for reference. So this has generated all of the code that we need at this point. So I'm going to scroll down on the left here, and what we haven't done is generate the OpenAPI spec or the database for our site. But first, we're going to compile the Java code with a Maven clean install command. So I run this with bash kernel. And this one's going to take a little bit to run because there's a bunch of Java dependencies we need. It's going to be downloading a bunch of Java dependencies. Before it compiles the code. This would be a good time to catch up if you want to on the 02. Okay, actually, it just completed, so no failures. It should be good to run. So we're going to, let's see. We don't need to run this because I don't think we have any errors. So I'm going to run this step to refresh the Maven projects in VS Code. Sometimes VS Code gets confused after running Maven clean install, so you can update the Maven projects in VS Code. Start by clicking the refresh page button in your browser, which you already did and I already did. So hopefully we don't need to do that step. And then on the top file explorer menu on the left of the workbench, open the Maven at the very bottom of the file menu, click reload all Maven projects, which is this one. So I click this button, and then down here, it's going to change the status, I think. Yeah. It's now it's Java building 57, 58%, 88. Says it's ready. So then wait for the red errors to disappear from the Java classes. Now we can regenerate the API. So we go to this run and debug dialog, and in this dropdown, we click rebuild Smart Aquaculture API. And then we click this green start debugging button. And it's running the code now. So here's what it did. It created an open API spec. What this is, if I press Control P and search for Open API, it's this Open API 3-enus.yaml. And if I if I press Control A to select all and Control C, then what I can do is I go to editor.swagger.io and I delete what's there and I paste in the Smart Aquaculture API spec. And this gives us a better picture of what we can do in our site. We can create and get articles for our site. We can manage site users, and this callback is part of the log in to Keycloak and back again, and the log out is also related to that. So this is what our Smart Aquaculture site has right now. And yeah.
And at that site, that's where we can begin to customize and lay out stuff. Like if we have a lab work process, or your processes can begin to go there, or in simulations and stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly. What we're going to do next is out of some APIs for managing fish populations.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see that appear next. Right
Okay.
now, this is just a brand new site without anything Smart Aquaculture yet.
Okay.
But we want to see it
Your,
run.
this is your office.
Yeah, this is where you can customize. And what's cool about the Smart Aquaculture platform is you can fork the main one, or you can rebuild your own that's custom to your particular sovereign type Smart Aquaculture needs, or you can share, you can contribute, here's a cool
or,
model that we built.
or you can push it out to the edge, you know?
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
build a simplified version at the edge for whatever you want. So we initialized the database as well. We created this file called db-create.sql, and it's all about site users right now, but it actually created this table and all the fields in the database, and it's ready to go. We'll talk about the fireware stuff later, but now it's time to run this site. So what we do is we run and debug, and we switch from rebuild Smart Aquaculture API to Smart Aquaculture, and then run this. I'm going to clear the logs. So it started, and if we scroll up to the top here, there's a link. The HTTP server is running, and I press Control on my keyboard and click on this link. And then it says, do you want code server to open the external website? I click configure trusted domains. I trust this. And then there we go. We have a blank Smart Aquaculture site running.
Awesome.
All right. So the next step is customizing it with a fish population model. But this is really cool. If you can get to this step, this means you've built your own website from scratch. And we did this within an hour. So it's pretty powerful tools.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's got the default page layout and CSS and everything we need. And it's got access control. We can log into the site. I'm going to log in as user one. So it's already integrated with the OpenShift identity provider. And it makes me enter this information. This is just a demo. So I'm going to do user one at example.com.
And you could almost do team training too, right? Anywhere in the world. I mean, your team can be all over the place, and y'all can log in, and we're doing team training this week,
Yeah, this is exactly. That's it. So here's the user interface for my site user using Shoelace. So now we have access control. And so this next step, we generate a fish population. So we create some environment variables. I want this new fish population model to be in the site Java package.model.fireware.fish population. It's going to have a name of fish population. This is some language context, some English language context for it. So we say a fish population here, and then a description. And we give it an order of how the models should appear in the menu. We give it an icon from Font Awesome for fish. And we give it a smart data model search. Here's where we're going to do some AI and query the Fireware smart data models for the default schema for a fish population. If you go to github.com/smartdatamodels, you'll see there is already this domain called Smart Agri-Food. And there's also this Aquaculture repo. And these are the models that we're talking about, fish population. Because the Fireware community has already come up with a model for fish populations. And this is it. Body mass, cultured in. We're going to leverage these fields, and we just use some AI to load these models. And so this is our search into the, like you type into a chatbot, can you build me some code for a smart agri-food fish population? That's what we're doing here.
Okay, awesome.
So we run this with Bash, and it stores the environment variables in memory in our notebook. And then we're going to use that to generate some more variables that we're going to use in a sec. So it wrote out what we're going to generate here with this information. And then we're going to create a directory for this Java class. So if we come up here, you'll see there's a brand new Fireware directory and fish population directory that's empty. And then we're going to create this Java class. It's this many lines: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's 15 lines. So we're going to run this here. It's going to generate fish population.java in here. So if I refresh, you'll see Fireware fish population.java. But it's already become more than 15 lines. It's now 448 lines. And so what happened? Well, if we look at this terminal, it queried fish populations when this file got touched, and it put in this query into our search engine to say, query fish population and tell me what is the top smart data model related to fish populations. And it was this one with a score of 198 compared to 163 for feeder. And it generated the fish population model based on Fireware's suggestions. And it should have also generated the whole API. Yeah. So it generated the whole API for us, which is solid. Let's see. That's the interface. This API is 3,600 lines of code, and it just created the whole thing for us automatically so that we don't have to write this code. It's all written. It's got an API to search, get, patch, post, delete, and import fish populations. And there's a search page, an edit page, and some code to delete, some general stuff. So we're almost there. We now need to rebuild the OpenAPI spec, the database scripts and things. Because if you look at our DB create, it only has site user. But if we follow these steps to, let's see, let me follow the Jupyter notebook here. It says, run this. It's the same as this command here to rebuild the Smart Aquaculture API. It's doing the same thing, but just from the terminal. So it does this, and let's see if it was successful. So what it did was it created a table called fish population. It added all of the fields for fish population data, and it created those in the database. We can see that, those updates here. And it updated our open API spec. So if I copy this, I go over here and update this, then we should see fish populations appear. Yep. So there's all these APIs for fish population: get, patch, post, delete, put, import, and others.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going fast. So let me finish this notebook. We're gonna regenerate the main vertical, because the main vertical loads our APIs, and it doesn't know about fish populations yet, so it needs to be regenerated here. Also the worker vertical and the page layout. And the result is going to be main vertical.java. It now has fish population imports. It has data to authorize fish populations, groups, and scopes and things in Keycloak. It's going to update Keycloak and configure the API for fish populations here. So we do all that, and we update the page layout, and then we recompile our Java project. It'll take a minute or so.
Yeah, and so we could take that fish population and rename it to our needs. Like I said, fish probably I can do shrimp, and
Yeah.
and then apply it to the size of shrimp, and then yeah.
Yes, exactly. Let me show you an example. So if we run this site now, let's just see what Fireware's version of a fish population looks like. First, after you do a Maven clean install, you usually have to click fix and then update project configuration, and then these errors go away. Or you can go to files, go to Maven and click reload all Maven projects, and they also go away. So let's try this again. Oh, let's see. Maybe I was impatient. Let me see what this, wait a minute. What happened here? Okay, that's unusual. Let me try, let me go to fish population.java and regenerate this one more time. Go to terminal, bash. Fish population regenerated. Okay. That got regenerated and everything looks okay. Let me check the problems. I think the problem went away. So let me close that and run this again. See, fix, update project configuration. Scroll up to the top. Let me see. Okay, I don't see any errors. So start debugging, compiling. Oh, cancel. We got to stop this and then we can start it again. Okay, clear. All right, it's up and running. I go back to my site and refresh and log in as user one. And you can see here, now we have fish populations. So now we can track these fish populations. So it says no fish population found, and it doesn't give me access to create any fish populations. This is because this application is based on zero trust. And in order to access, to be able to create fish population data, then you need to be granted access. So what I do is I switch to keycloak.apps.mycluster and see, I sign in with the admin credentials. I go to the Smart Aquaculture realm. I go to users, user one, and groups, join group. I'm going to grant me a fish population editor and then join. So user one now has that privilege. And if I refresh the page, then I'm able to create fish populations now. So create, is there a good name for a fish population? Louisiana shrimp. All
Oh, I'm
right.
sorry. I was talking to myself. Yeah, I was saying shellfish losing. I gotta find the Jarvis's language. you know, Jarvis,
Yeah.
what language do you want to use and for each of your processes? Because I think he may want I think his for net zero waste he likes the small tiny shrimp that are nobody wants. It's like
Yeah.
it's it's but that's something I got to go through with him because I think he's gonna have at least four different types of shrimp populations.
Yeah.
At least four different categories that'll
And maybe
fall.
that body mass
Hmm.
field makes a difference there. We're
Yes,
checking little ones, big ones. What are we
yeah,
talking about?
pieces. He loves the pieces because that's what he used to process.
Yeah.
Because the other ones are different markets. That everybody pays top dollar for like a big giant shrimp.
Yeah. So we'll give it a body mass of 5 and create this fish population. And let's see if this works. So I think it sometimes takes a little bit to register because it's actually talking um, to the context broker in the backend. Oh
Mhm.
no, we got a error. Let me see here. What is our error? Connection closed. Maybe our context broker is not running, but let me refresh the page and see if this fish population got created. Okay, it did create the fish population, Louisiana shrimp. We are tracking Louisiana shrimp, but maybe the context broker had a hard time. Yeah, it didn't update the context broker data here.
Mhm. And the broker, that could be things coming in from sensors and stuff.
Yeah, so this is we integrate with the context brokers so that we're at least following standards for IoT device data.
Hmm.
So let me just check on that real quick. If I go to Scorpio broker uh, logs, see if it gave me an error. Okay, I think it's running. So let me change body mass from 5 to 6. So it gave me another error. That changed from... Let me just delete this pod and start it up again and see if that makes a difference. Because we don't want the Scorpio broker messing us up if it's a problem. So, but it also put this thing on a map, which is cool. If the Scorpio broker is going to be a problem, I can disable it. But let me just see if this will...
And what does the Scorpio browser do?
Scorpio broker, that's what I'm trying to demonstrate right here. Let me see if it's going to work. So I'm going to change this from a 5 to a 6. And it still failed. So $400. Absurd. Entity failed. So let me check on these logs and see if there are any errors. Oh, you know what? Maybe what it is I gotta rebuild the Smart Aquaculture API from here instead of the Jupyter Notebook. Let me see if that's the case, because it may not be finding the new fish population stuff in the Fireware context. I should have checked beforehand, but the Fireware context data is here. Fireware fish population model. So it has this, and if I change this to a 7, oh, it still didn't work. Clear. It keeps failing on this. So, okay, so what I'm going to do for now, I'll try to debug this more for the Red Hat Summit. But if I go to vars.yaml and search for context broker, send, I'm going to set this to false for now, and I'm going to stop and start this. Oops, and rerun the application. So Smart Aquaculture. Refresh. User 1. And change this to an 8. Okay, now it's green. So we disabled the context broker for now. I wanted to show you that you can change the point on the map. So if we want to put a point down here and move this closer to Louisiana, we can put a point down and right click on this and say, set location of fish population, Louisiana shrimp. And it should move the gray dot over here. Come on. Set location, unless we have some JavaScript errors happening or something. Oh no. Okay, I better. Looks like I introduced a JavaScript bug here, so I'm gonna have to fix that for the demo. Oops. Well, okay. This is why. Okay, so this demo didn't go perfectly smooth, but we were able to create this model for fish populations for Louisiana shrimp. And we could keep going in this workshop to generate feeding operations and feeders and feed and crowdflow observed if we want to. But I think this is good for now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think it was awesome, because it's forcing me to think what I need to do, because now I see, I got my shrimp processing, I got my net zero waste, my shelf stable, which is I got to figure out where Java sees to split, and then you can do this to crops as well, and it's like,
Yeah.
but those are different communities, and I need to figure out each of their language to put in these databases, and we got to process, and
Yeah.
and we're cooking with water. Once we do that, we'll be operational. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
we
that's
can
the
track
real
any
world
data.
part. Yeah, that's the real world part. And but yeah, so I just gotta try to push towards real world stuff. Because I think we
Yeah.
we can do it with no problem. It's just, and then just sometimes on the edge, people like, how do we want to have the data persist? You know what I'm saying? Do we want it
Yeah.
all the way back to on the edge or at the MOC? That's a different question. Completely different
Yeah.
question. And I haven't thought about that yet. But I think I like going back to MOC for complete disaster recovery. And but I don't know. I got to think about that some more. Maybe the edge send a copy to the. Not sure yet.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I want to talk more about that. I'm gonna stop the live stream. So thanks for